Okay, you guys. So I wanted to do this remastered. Today's my birthday, or hopefully I put this out, or put this as a premiere on my birthday. Uh, I hope by then we had you know, 1,000 subscribers. If we didn't, it's also okay. But if you can subscribe, I would appreciate it. Also, join my Discord if you can. I appreciate all of you. And with that said, hit that intro.
Wanna ask his bitch ass that, but that nigga dead for real. Been a nigga block the windows down, but I like jumping out. You clap first, I'm still coming, bitch. We just gon' spark it out. Run the opposition down and knock his fucking tonsils out. Lil' bro smooth his ass, that nigga dead. That's what that chopper about. We ain't ducking shit, bitch. What it is? Let's bring them choppers out. Pull up to his crib, that's where he live. Oh yeah, we popping out. Ain't no questions asked, bitch. I'm a blast. They know I'm rocking out. When this chopper flash, boy, that's your ass. Ain't shit to talk about.
So basically it would end up way different from the original time thing that I was trying to do earlier. Instead of basically Naruto being killed, what would happen is, since he was bullied so much, he would kind of die from depression, which, if you did not know, you can die from. Not like killing yourself, but literally just die out of nowhere from being extremely sad. So, when he's dead, nobody checks up on him for weeks. And when I say weeks, I mean weeks. Even Hiruzen hasn't checked up on him. Hiruzen has been leaving the money inside of his mail, but he basically saw that the money was starting to slowly fill up. So Hiruzen says, okay, next month, if he does not get his money, then next I say about 3 weeks, if he does not get his money, I'm gonna go check on him. As Hiruzen puts inside the envelope of money inside of his mailbox and walks away. Now, all of a sudden, Naruto wakes up inside of a different plane, and he meets this man. This man has white clothes on and a black staff. He looks old, but he doesn't show any signs of being older than about 60, 50. So yeah, he does look old, but he doesn't look extremely old. I'm gonna say that. He looks like he's just getting out of his 50s and going to 60, which would just be getting to old since middle age. Okay, anyway. The man then says, you weren't supposed to die yet. You let your grief take you over, and you let yourself be swallowed up by despair. I'll give you another chance, but this is the only one that I'm giving you until later in life. Naruto then looks at the old man inside of confusion, as everything around him then flashes a bright white. Now, as he wakes up, he then notices a lot of things are different from him. First off, his skin is very pale. He feels really powerful, but it's most definitely not chakra. And also he feels like he has stamina for days. I'm talking about, he could go ahead and run a marathon 16 times before he gets tired. I'm talking about gasping for air tired, not not regular tired. I ain't gonna let him be that powerful. Another thing that he noticed is, on his chest there are certain tattoos. Not the tattoo that he's always had on his stomach, but there's a few other tattoos. But Naruto sees it as probably another birthmark, or maybe the thing on his stomach just spread. He thinks about going to the doctor, but he's like, I don't have enough money for it anyway, as he leaves his room. Now, after he leaves his room, he then looks inside of his mailbox, you know. I'm gonna say his mail comes in every single Wednesday. No, Thursday. I don't like the day Wednesday. It isn't even spelled right. Anyway, so basically he checks his mailbox and he sees about 3 envelopes full of money. He then says, "Is Haruzen getting old? Cause I'm not supposed to have this much." He then really thinks and he says, "If I have this much, that must have meant that 9 weeks had passed." No, that's not right. I literally just went to go and get my money. Now, as he says that and gets his money out of his mailbox, he then he then puts it inside of a secret cubby inside of his house, basically where he stores all of his money, so then if it's ever robbed, he won't, lose all of it. Since I'm gonna say Naruto lives inside the hood-like area. Now, he then hears a knock on his door as he goes back, and he then sees Haruzen as he says, "Naruto, are you okay?" And Naruto looks at Haruzen and he's like, "Yeah, of course I am." While with a big smile on his face. And Haruzen says, "Are you sure you haven't been out of your house in 12 weeks?" And this completely shocks Naruto because, well, he all he did was go to sleep, or what felt like a sleep. When he woke up, he wasn't as tired as he normally was. He was completely refreshed. He thought everything was okay with him. He thought everything was normal. As Naruto then says, "What do you mean? I just went to sleep." And yesterday, at the academy, we just learned an advanced version of the Shuriken Jutsu. As Haruzen says, "That was 12 weeks ago. Are you okay?" Now, as Naruto freezes inside of shock, Haruzen says a few more things, but Naruto still can't hear him. Because Naruto just realized 12 weeks of his life just passed, and he thought it was a day. He's thinking maybe he time traveled, but everybody's saying no, he just didn't leave his house. As he then comes to the conclusion he was inside of a coma for that long. But then he says, a normal human can only survive about a week or so without food. If they're not using, medical pills, or what, I forgot what it's called inside of Naruto. Food pills, I think it's called. And Haruzen then touches Naruto's shoulder, and as he says, "Did you hear all that?" And Naruto says, "What?" Yeah. As Haruzen walks away, and he waves at Naruto, and he says, "Okay, I'm going back to my office. Have a good day." Now, as he says this, Naruto then realizes he's about 30 minutes late for his school day. Haruzen delivers his packages very early in the morning, since Naruto's usually up very early in the morning because he tries to train to get better at the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Now, at this point, Naruto then starts to run to his school. And as he is, he then notices he's a lot faster, a lot more agile, a lot more, I guess you could say, it feels like he's a lot light. Dang it, he feels like he's light as a feather on his feet. As he then gets to his school inside of a record time. Usually he would get to his school in 5 minutes, but he got to school in about 2 minutes. Just to say how far his house was from the school, using his ninja skills, which did make him faster since, he's a ninja, and ninjas move extremely fast, he basically came to the conclusion that when he was sleeping that long, he must have been inside of some type of hibernation gaining power. Which Naruto, being stupid, would just think he's some type of superhero. Like Naruto isn't like completely dumb. He just doesn't use his brain much. Like, for example, Naruto can be smart. He just chooses not to be. He chooses to goof off. If you see a lot of stuff inside the anime, you would know that he chooses to goof off except for using his actual brain power. Anyway, Naruto then goes to the academy, and Aruka says, "Okay, class, this is the last day. All you guys have to do is perform the shadow clone jutsu, do a written test, and the transformation jutsu, and you should be good." Now, Aruka said that written test first, then the transformation, then the clone. So decides to go and do the clone jutsu. Well, not the clone jutsu, the transformation jutsu. After he does it completely successfully, he then gets a regular A, which I never got from the anime. Since he was able to transform himself, you think being able to transform himself into a girl he's never seen before, and with such, such like it was not like, oh, with so much precision. That was the word that I was looking for, precision. But for some reason, the anime just went ahead and said, nah, none of that. So he then tells him to do the clone jutsu. As he does the clone jutsu, Naruto then does a clone that is basically passed out on the floor, as everybody in the class laughs at him. And he slowly walks back to his seat. Now everybody else does this, and they get their headbands, and Naruto's the only one left as he goes to the swing, and he does his depressed little swing dance. And by swing dance, I mean he's just swinging on the swing, just depressed. As Mizuki comes forward, and he's basically like, "What's wrong, Naruto?" As Naruto looks up at Mizuki, he sees a warm smile on his face, completely hiding the evil within him. As Naruto then says, I failed the test." Now, Mizuki basically says, don't tell anybody that I told you this, but if you go and find the scroll inside of the Hokage's office and learn that, you'll get a passing grade. Now, Naruto says, "Really, Mizuki-sensei?" And Mizuki just nods his head. As, Naruto then goes running off inside the direction of, the Hokage's office. Or running back home, actually. Now, as he waits for it to get late, he then camps the Hokage's, base, as he waits for Hiruzen to walk away. As Hiruzen does, he grabs the scroll and then goes running off into the village. The forest. Dang. Now, Mizuki then comes out to all the Jonins and he says that Naruto stole the scroll. Now, as everybody's going looking for him, Iruka's the first to find him as Naruto's looking through the scroll. And basically, Iruka's like, "Naruto, what has come over you?" What? Of course there's an ad. He says, "Naruto, what has come over you?" I'm gonna let the ad play. As Naruto says, Mizuki Sensei said that if I get the scroll and learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu, I could become a ninja. As he says, "What? Why would Mizuki tell you that?" As he says that, a giant demon wind shuriken comes flying at Naruto. As Iruka says, "Get down, Naruto." And as he does, Naruto looks at the shuriken except for getting down. And Iruka puts himself in front of Naruto as the shuriken hits him in the back. Now, as the shuriken hits him in the back, flashback jutsu off after his parents died to make everybody laugh because of how lonely he was. And after Naruto finds this out, he then sees Mizuki inside of a tree. As Mizuki then begins to speak and says, "Naruto, do you know what you really are? Do you know why people in the village call you a demon?" Now, I'm sorry, I can't get over the ad. Okay, now, as Naruto says why, Mizuki then says, you remember the nine-tailed demon that attacked the village and killed Aruka's family?" Now, as Naruto then looks up at him, Aruka then says, "Stop, Mizuki. This is one of the greatest laws that you can break. Stop it right now and just give up." Now, as Mizuki goes on, he says, "Look at him, trying to keep the secret away from you. I bet he would even be willing to kill me to keep the secret away from you." Now, Mizuki then explains how Naruto has the nine tails within him. Except he doesn't say it's within him. He says he is the nine-tailed fox, which would be confusing. And he would think he's a demon, which is kind of a part of Mizuki's plan. So, Naruto freezes in shock as Aruka says, "Mizuki, why would you say that? You won't only be arrested, but you'll probably be executed." Now, as Aruka says this, he then looks over at Naruto and he says, "Naruto, don't listen to him." As Naruto just runs away inside of tears and basically anger and sadness as he goes jumping through the trees. As he then realizes the reason that he's been treated bad all of his life is because for some reason he had to be born a demon. He had to be a villain inside of his eyes. Now, as you know, as he's all of this is going through his mind, he then says, "But but Aruka said he never really hated me. He said that he just didn't like the way that I acted." Even though Aruka, didn't really like the way he acted, he still protected Naruto. He still got him out of trouble, even though it might have been the reason he was ignored. It still was the reason that he's still alive today, the reason that he's not locked up somewhere. The reason why not everybody hates him. Some people just don't like him. Now, as he thinks this inside of his head, he then goes running back to Mizuki, as Mizuki's getting ready to kill Aruka. As Naruto then punches Mizuki in the face, and Mizuki goes stumbling back. And as Mizuki goes stumbling back, Naruto then says, "If you ever try to kill my sensei, I'ma kill you." As he says that, a kind of energy unlocks out of his body, and except for the original canon when he beat him up with the shadow clones, he beats the crap out of Mizuki with his own bare hands. Basically, every single punch that he makes breaks a bone inside of his body. As all you could hear throughout the air was just sounds of eerie crunches and breaking bones beneath Naruto's fists. Now, as Naruto throws more and more punches, Mizuki then goes falling to the ground, as Mizuki is gasping for air. And, he kind of passes out from the amount of pain that he feels. As, Aruka ties up Mizuki and basically has his speech to Naruto saying that he became a Genin. And he became a ninja, as he gives him the headband. Now, as this happened, Aruka said basically, I'll meet you at the ramen shop after I take Mizuki to the Hokage's office. Now, as he says this, he then goes jumping away into the forest. Okay, that you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you didn't, well, that's unfortunate. If you did, thanks. Again, if you want to, you could subscribe or not. I don't really care. I'll see you guys later and have a great life. Don't die too early. Try not to catch the Rona. And with all of that said, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Power I seek, and if it ain't about the money, then my nigga don't speak. I be in the lab getting immersed in these verses. I'm writing the light brighter than the white in the mime, and I'm working hard like I need an A on assignment. They copy tape like I'm Simon. No walkie-talkie, I'm stacked. Hitting it from the back. Walk around with the strap. Concealed cause I can. It's a city law. Hold up, bitch, you can't, man. I pity y'all. How y'all on the streets where these niggas gonna really rob? I up the heat, aim at his meat, chili dog.